Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors. Now this is my personal favorite one. I will discuss the ending in a bit and talk about why I don't like it, but and how the next film, I don't like some of the parts of Part 4, which I will review tomorrow. But starting with the background of this movie. Now Wes Craven came back and gave them some ideas, which they took some of the ideas from his script that he wrote out for him, but they got two new directors to come in and revise it. And we'll discuss that more, like I said, when the ending happens, because I believe that I got more info about that. So, let's talk about the plot. This movie also has a really awesome soundtrack. Dokken made this song, Dream Warriors, which is still really good today. Um, and this movie is the sweet spot. You got the Freddy that's still scary, but also has comedy. Once you get to like Dream Master and the ones after that, he's basically became kind of a cartoon. He's still, I'd say part 5 is when you hit kind of close to rock bottom, and part 6 is rock bottom. But 4 still has more of like a comedic Freddy than a scary Freddy. He has some good one-liners, but taking Freddy, Fear Factor, the first 3 are the ones that are really for that, and part 7. And some Freddy vs. Jason too. He's more balanced, but so we see that I think Wes Craven's original idea was for the the kids, their deaths look like suicide because Freddy would do it in the dream where it looked like a suicide, so nobody would get suspicion to a murder. So I think it was still that is still kept because Patricia Arquette's character Kristen, who is basically is a really awesome character. Unfortunately, she gets killed off in the first 15 minutes of the next movie, even though she's the protagonist of this movie. And so she has a dream of Freddy, and then she goes into her bathroom, and as soon as she like tries to turn on the faucet, it like gets her on her hands, and it cuts her wrists. So her mom thinks she tried to kill herself, and then basically she's sent to this mental asylum or this mental institution, and we get some backstory on Freddy, like his mother Amanda. We learn she's a nun. We find out more about her in the 5th film. I'll explain that when we get there. But we also get the return of Heather Langenkamp as Nancy, which, oh my gosh, she's so great in this movie. Um, she's such a, like, I made the video why she's my favorite final girl, and I still stand by everything I said. She still is the best. It's like, and Heather played the role so good. She gives her charisma, and like I said, resourcefulness. That's why the way she dies in this movie is very dumb, and I'll explain that in a second. But we also get introduced to our other characters. There's this kid in a wheelchair who wants to be a D&D like wizard and have powers. And there's this Philip. He has a really cool like design of his like death scene. But we'll talk about that in a second. And then Kincaid, who's really strong. I'm a big fan of. Unfortunately, him and the other character Joey, one of the main Dream Warriors, gets killed off in the 3rd film or 4th film. The first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie, which sucks. But we'll talk about that again more next episode. So basically, Nancy's brought in to kind of be like a mentor to these, especially Kristen. And Kristen has the power to bring people into her dreams. If she's scared, she can bring somebody into them. So then they get dream powers. So it's a very interesting act. Like, we have the full like a team against Freddy, and they all have their own powers that can like help fight back against him because they're not powerless anymore. And she brings Nancy into one of the dreams, and the Freddy's turned to a worm and is trying to eat Kristen, and Nancy's there, and you can see how angry he is seeing her again, and she stabs him with the shard, and they wake back up. So now to the death scenes in the film. Philip, his tendons are pulled out of his body, and Freddy puppeteers him and walks him out through the hallway to the side of the institution, to the top part of the roof, and then uses his claw and like cuts it. And it's pretty because before Freddy turns this like puppet creature and stuff like that, like claymation, which is the coolest part. They made the claymation segment with him turned to a puppet. And the next death, which you probably know, is Jennifer's death, and it's his most iconic line in the whole franchise. You know, welcome to prime time. I don't like to cuss on the channel, so I'll just say female dog. But he picks her up, and shoves the like robot arms, grows at the TV because she wants to be be an actor. And she's watching some late night, and she gets picked up by Freddy and smashed into the television. And then one of the nurses comes in and sees her like, you know, hanging from it, which is a pretty cool like Freddy's one liner here. That's kind of like this is one of the most iconic ones. He's really good in next episode or next movie. So eventually, also to talk about the Professor Neil, he's not a professor. I don't know why. He's like the doctor around there. He meets up with Nancy's dad, who makes a reprise. He was a really good part of the part one. I don't know why I didn't mention him, John Saxon's character, and I don't know why I didn't mention him, but he's really good. I hope I didn't like say the wrong actor, but I know his last name is Saxon. But basically, they're trying to find Freddy's bones in real life because Amanda says something about that. And while the Dream Warriors, you know, Nancy, Kristen, and all the other ones, they try to like fight in the dream world. So there's a scene where in the really like the Harry Potter kid comes and like tries to like shoot Freddy with his lasers, and then Freddy strangles him. I don't believe in fairy tales. And then one of the other girls, it's a pretty disturbing scene. She's like an addict, and so Freddy gets like syringes for finger knives and then like injects her in her, and it's pretty scary for anybody who's been through like. I'm sure people. It's kind of. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty disturbing for people who've actually done that, like with those needles. So I understand why that'd be kind of a trigger warning, but yeah. And that's the thing. Freddy is scary in this film. Like I said, he is comedy. Now, time to get to the end of the movie. After killing them, it's Kincaid, Joey, who gets his voice now, because he was mute earlier, and can scream really loud and like damage Freddy that way. So it's now Kincaid, Nancy, Joey, and Kristen versus Freddy in the dream world. They find his bones, and the bones kill Nancy's dad. But Gordon, it beats him up too, the doctor, Neil. But before Neil can like die, because he doesn't die in the movie. So Nancy and they beat Freddy. They think they've beat him. And he reveals his chest of souls, which is one of the things I think we learned in this movie, that he absorbs the souls of the people he kills. So, and basically, they think they've killed him in the dream worlds, but then like, Nancy sees her dad, which is the dumbest. This is what I was saying. Now, I don't think Nancy would not fall for her dad magically appearing in the dream world and stuff. That's the way they kill her off, because Freddy stabs her in the back with his gloves, and then she like, as like Freddy is trying to like attack Kristen now, after he's killed Nancy or almost killed her, like Nancy like grabs his arm and like forcefully shoves it through his, like stabs him with it or something. So yeah, but like I know in Wes Craven's original script apparently she knew that was not her dad, but she was trying to trick Freddy. So she grabs like a sharp behind her back and stabs him in the back, and then he like stabs her in the stomach. So they kill her at the same time. But that's so much more like Nancy. If she was gonna die, then that would have been such a better ending. I know Wes regretted killing her off in his original script, but you know, New Line, you could have done something, man. Like you could have did something better for her death, or like I said in the episode where I called her my favorite final girl, I said that you could have kept her as a mentor role. But then again, Freddy would have wanted to kill her because he hated her the most of anybody. But yeah, so the movie ends, and after like Neil sprinkles holy water on the bones of Freddy and lays it to rest, and he like explodes. Lights come out of his, and he like explodes and dies. Nancy passes away, unfortunately, and the Dream Warriors live their lives peacefully, hopefully. But you know, next episode we find out that they didn't get to live that very much longer. So I think this movie chronologically in the timeline takes place in 87 or 86, and I think Dream Master takes place the next fall. So they get about 6, 7, 8 months of life, and then Freddy absorbs their souls. So we'll talk about that next episode. I love you guys. And Dream Warriors, even though I said that the ending makes me mad, I still think this is my favorite movie. It's the soundtrack, the characters, the aesthetic, the kills. It's such a great Elm Street movie. It's the quintessential movie if you want to show somebody Freddy. It's this sweet spot. He's not too goofy, but he's also not too scary, but he's perfect. The perfect Freddy. Robert Englund did amazing in this movie. But we'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. Stay blessed.